Ready? All right, here we go. Here we go again. What you eat this man? We're getting ready to continue on the ceiling. Unfortunately, Tiffany hasn't been feeling well, so a few days have gone by, so we're going to try to start again today. We have, in the meantime, we have painted all of the tiles. We have removed all of the backing. So today, Tiffany's going to glue and I'm going to put some up on the ceiling. And what we have here are the tools we might need, such as a drill in case there's an errant screw on the bare drywall ceiling, our tape measure, our scissors, we have some gloves, and our glue. And unless you have any questions, here we go.
So at this point, we're just recording our intro. I was feeling horrible this week. I had the worst cold of my life. I was really dizzy this day. That's mostly why my mom was up on the ladder, looking up all day. One of the biggest issues that we were having with this adhesive is that even though it dried, it was still very sticky. So sometimes we'd put a tile up and we'd go to press it up all around on the corners and it would literally pull the tile back down. So that was pretty hard to get used to, but we finally figured it out and we ended up just using the backs of our hands, or we just got new gloves every time it was starting to happen, because it would happen after a big buildup would happen on your fingers. And then if you see there, we're just trying to get them all to stay stuck up there. By the end of the video, you'll see that we were not successful in getting them all to stay up. We had to do some applying some pressure to some tiles in order to get them to stay up there. So as you can see here, we are putting the tiles over the lights, the light hole. After we figured out that we were able to just pull the puck light out of the little socket thing, it made it very easy to do the tiles around the light holes. We just put the tile up, we let it set up, and then we'd take my X-Acto knife that I have from other projects and crafts, and we would just cut the hole out. You'll see in a couple of minutes, we'll go back and we'll actually cut the holes out. this was one of the only times I got up on something, and that was just to help my mom out. I got very dizzy while I was standing up there. I tried not to do that again. Right now, we're trying to figure out how to make this ceiling match up with my doorway going to the back enclosed porch. The walls are very different in their thickness because one was, we did a lot of work in the kitchen already, and we restudded that back wall and put a bunch of what's that stuff called? Insulation in the walls to prevent it from being very cold in our kitchen. And because we did that, the wall in the kitchen is about 8 inches thick, whereas the wall in the laundry room to the left is only about 4 inches thick, because we didn't have to do that with that wall, because that wall went from an outside wall to an inside wall when we had our porch enclosed last year. I'm doing this voiceover right now, and it's so funny to hear us sound like little chipmunks. It makes me laugh so much. This is just more of the same, putting up tiles, slowly moving across the kitchen ceiling. By the end of this, we had gotten all of the ceiling done up to that window that you see above my washer and dryer. And then we came back to where the refrigerator is and finished that side. We ended up having to actually cut the top of one of my cabinet doors so that I can actually open the cabinet door, which is a whole other issue. Our house is very uneven. So my mom and I will actually be making upper cabinets for the kitchen, maybe over this winter, maybe, and we'll probably take you along for that. So this is what I was talking about earlier about applying pressure to the tiles. As you can see, we have a couple of tiles in that one area that are hanging away from the ceiling. So I had to get some boards to prop up after I glued it to hold it in place against the ceiling while the glue dried. We had to do this for multiple parts around the ceiling because some parts just didn't not want to stay stuck. I could not for the life of me get this one board to stay up there. It took several different tries, and every time I tried to walk away, this board would just fall. It was very frustrating, but now looking back, it's very funny. So at this point in time, we got together the boards that we would be using to put crown molding up. We used a 1x3 on its face on the ceiling, and then a 1x2 on its face on the wall. So it looks like an L, I guess you could say. I'll put some pictures up at the end and show you what we did with the trim. Yeah, the trim looks really good. Had a lot of thought process going into this. Right here I'm measuring for one of the areas that'll be putting trim up in. This is one of the areas where some of that trim was going up. I was not able to finish this area yet as that cabinet is too high on the wall and it doesn't allow for the 1x2 piece to be installed. So what we need to do is remove that cabinet and remove some of the shiplap that we have up there that's underneath it to lower the cabinet. What I was trying to do at this point in time with the roller was to get it to stay against the ceiling so I could see if I needed to move it out further to cover that piece of wood on the right-hand side.
fantastic.